Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Mandy, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how I make $1,000 a month selling digital products on Etsy and how you can too. I've been selling products on Etsy for about 5 months now. This is one of my favorite ways that I make money online at the moment because you do it once, you set it, and you sort of forget it, and it's sort of just been snowballing on its own without me really doing much. You create a product one time and you can make money off of it forever, and I love that sort of passive income. So I'm going to share with you my top tips in how I believe that I've done it and how you can as well. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly share my screen here. And so the number one piece of advice that I would give is to pick one niche. It makes it a lot easier for Etsy's algorithm, I think, to recommend products if you're doing things all in one similar niche. So personally, as you can see on the screen here, I've gone with the mental health and spiritual niche because it's something that I genuinely am really passionate about and I have a lot of knowledge on. And I've actually written a lot of these journal prompts in my personal journal over the years that I've actually just given now as printables for other people to use. So this is my shop here. So that would be my number one piece of advice. Pick a niche and stick to it. There are so many different niches that you can do as far as for printables and for doing digital products. You just have to really hone in and figure out exactly what you have knowledge on and what you can create the products around. Generally, I always recommend for everything in online and e-commerce being something that you're interested in, because otherwise you're just going to lose obvious interest in it and not continue on with doing it. I guess with this, not that big of a deal because you can kind of do it once and then it's over. But if you don't have very good discipline like me, you might find yourself giving up on it if you're not interested. So that's probably my number one piece of advice. So as you can see for my shop, from everything that I've learned with e-commerce, a brand is what makes your online presence so much stronger. And so I've kind of created my Etsy shop into a brand, which I highly recommend doing as well. This can be done just through Canva. So I don't actually sell these products or do anything anywhere else yet. I haven't figured out another avenue that I want to go with Mindfully Mandy. Creating the brand and having your color scheme and branding makes it look so much better and makes it a lot easier for, you know, people looking. Just makes you look more professional rather than just being someone who just chucked up something on the internet and you want them to buy it. I do have a bit of graphic design experience, but I actually just made this branding really quickly out of Canva as sort of like an experiment to see how quickly I could get this going, and it's worked really well. So it can be done. You can create your own branding through Canva. I just recommend going more of the minimalist route like I have, just to keep it simple. As soon as you start adding too many like elements to your branding, it sort of starts to look a little tacky if you do it yourself, in my opinion, but each to their own. So I even created like a little catchphrase and stuff like that here. I've put my Instagram there as well. It's always good to just sort of leave your digital footprint across all platforms. I've also made sure, this is another thing that I would recommend doing, is that my listings relate to my branding as well, so everything sort of flows, and when someone comes to my store, they can see that all these items that I have look fairly well the same and they all relate to one another and are the same branding. It just looks a lot better. It's a lot easier for people to navigate and you just look more professional that way. So I will touch on more on creating more of like a brand on Etsy probably in another video, because I feel like it's quite a large, extensive component. If you're new to branding, it's sort of a lot to understand how you can create a brand out of these types of products, but it's sort of just how you speak to your customers the same way and being consistent and understanding who you're speaking to and who you're trying to target with your products as well. So if you look here on my store, you'll see that I have quite a few different products. But what I've done is I've actually taken a lot of the products that I've created and just bundled them differently. So you can see like I've done like a therapy bundle, which pretty much includes everything that I've created in my store. I've also done like an inner child and shadow work journal because they were like frequently purchased products together. So I just created another one sort of to upsell to people to entice them to want to buy the two together rather than just buying one because it's a better deal. And it's gone really well. So I do recommend doing that because it actually just improves your average order value, which is really important if you're wanting to hit that $1,000. Getting creative with what you bundle together and figuring out what people are purchasing more likely together, or what you think yourself would go good together as an upsell. Highly recommend doing that just to improve how much people are buying from you. And it also just makes things easier for your customers. So a little hack that I figured out as well. This one's one of my better sellers, this inner child workbook. So what I do to make sure that I'm gonna get the sale, I have a really high percentage of people purchasing, and I feel like one of the reasons for that is because I do offer a free gift. So this daily mental health tracker printable is actually available in my store, but I decided, like, because it's just one page, like I do sell quite a few of these, but I decided because it's just one page, I can just use that as an upsell in every one of my listings as well. So it's cheaper obviously just to buy that one page, but this gets people to, if they see that they get that actually for free with a more expensive product, they're more likely to buy the expensive product that gets the freebie. So that's a little hack that I figured out myself, and since I started doing that, I definitely saw a peak in my sales go up for that one. So just having that in your product listing photos really makes a big difference in my opinion. Another thing that I would recommend doing, a lot of people don't fully read things when they're purchasing, so sometimes I'll get sometimes I've received messages, people asking, hey, I haven't received my product yet, just because they didn't look through the full listing. So I even still get that, and I have it printed pretty much everywhere. But I do recommend putting this in your product photos, just saying that this is a digital product that they'll receive via email. And then I actually have on my newer, this is an older listing, but in my newer ones, I actually have on there as well that it has to be printed via desktop, which is for all digital products on Etsy. But I do have that there on the page. I've also got the bonus gift listed on there as well. And just to make sure that everyone's on the same page and they understand what they're getting and that they're not getting an actual physical product, it's something that they have to print themselves. As you can see on the left here, I have gotten quite a few reviews, and I've been a bit slack lately because we have been traveling and working so much on other things that I haven't been asking for reviews. But generally every week I will go back and send direct messages to people on Etsy and ask for a review, and I'll show you the message that I send to people that's like non-intrusive and just really friendly, asking for a review and how much it helps my store. But you can see that it's worked, because obviously not everyone's gonna leave a review. That's just the way it is, but they do really help your store. And just as well for social proof, like, reviews are everything in the online space. We teach this in our online course. I have more information about the online course down below if you're interested. We teach everything about e-commerce. Online reviews are everything in getting that social proof. People will be very hesitant about being the first one to purchase from you if they don't see that someone's already had it and trialed it themselves. So the more reviews, the better. You can't ever have too many good reviews on your products. I gotta get better at sending out these messages and get on top of it. But I will go into my messages here. Okay, so I've just zoomed in so I can get rid of the person's address and name. So I've just put, hi Amanda, I just want to check in and see how you're finding the journal prompts. I would love to hear your feedback by leaving a review. These reviews help my store immensely. And then just tell them how they can leave a review. So I've put that there as well. And I got this off another YouTube video. I'm not sure exactly where. I learn a lot of my stuff via YouTube, so I don't want to take credit for someone else's message, but I, for the life of me, can't remember who I got this off, but thank you. And then just saying thank you for your order means the world to me. So obviously not everyone's gonna leave the review. That's totally fine, but a lot of them do. And when you are doing something a lot more heartfelt and asking for that review and how much it helps you, it really helps your store out as well. So another thing that I would really recommend is understanding how important keywords on Etsy are. Like, I think they are the be all end all, honestly, for Etsy to get your product seen and ranked and recommended to people, and to help people actually find your listing is using correct, proper keywords that people are using to find whatever you are selling. I'm on page 1 now for 365 journal prompts for beginners, mental health, printable journal pages. So you can see that I've used a lot of different keywords in that, in what I know people are searching for. It's related to everything that's in there. It doesn't necessarily make sense, like if I was just to say I'm just selling a yellow pillow, I'd recommend describing what the fabric is, if it's handmade, more niche keywords of what people would actually be searching for. Try and be as descriptive as possible in your keyword title, and also in the first couple lines of your product description is so important. So this is how Etsy just figures out what your listing is actually about. So having that in the first couple lines as well as the description, that's how Etsy's gonna know where to place your product listing. I recommend putting pretty much your title of your listing in the first couple lines, because that just sort of solidifies that that's what it is and that's what Etsy's going to list it as, and put it in the correct place for people to find it. It just optimizes it a lot more for SEO purposes. This is sort of how I write out my Etsy listings. You're welcome to copy and use it sort of similar. I always include what they'll receive in it, and I always also include like a review in the listing. This one's a little bit older. Usually I've got like 2 or 3 reviews on my listings, but this one's just got 1. But I definitely recommend doing that because it sort of just reminds people that more social proof. You can reuse those reviews on your product listing. So I think that's really helpful. And then I just pop a bunch of keywords down the bottom of my listing as well, just to sort of really solidify what is this listing about and to help anyone find it. So if anyone's looking for any of those types of things, hopefully my listing will pop up for it. Another thing I would recommend doing is for your tags, using the same keywords in the first few tags as well. Again, just helps with SEO purposes, and just being really diligent with these things, that you are really certain what your listing is about, and it's just really gonna help Etsy once again. So in the tags, this one's my deep journal prompt. So I've got deep journal, deep prompts, thought-provoking. So just things that I've used in the description, that's gonna help. Just recommend doing that as well. The other thing to think about that I would recommend is doing a product video. So doing a product video really helps when they're deciding whether or not to purchase your digital product, so they can actually see the entire thing that they're purchasing. And also Etsy even recommends that buyers are really liking it. So that means that Etsy's going to favor listings that have a video option on it. I will create another YouTube video showing how to actually create a fully optimized listing. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for that one in the near future. The last bit of advice that I would give is just to respond every single message that you get on Etsy, because your goal should be to become a star seller, because once you do, your account will get catapulted. Like, I started seeing so much more sales once I hit my star seller, and it took me longer, unfortunately, than it should have. I was traveling at the time and didn't have any Wi-Fi, and I missed out on responding to a message within 24 hours, and I missed my chance to become a star seller for that month. I do recommend really staying on top of that, because once you do become a star seller, that's when you'll start to see the higher numbers for your Etsy account. Another piece of advice that I would give is your name for your store should relate to what you're selling. So that's why I went with Mindfully Mandy, because we're being mindful with our journaling and our journal prompts and being spiritual. So that's why I went with Mindfully Mandy. It just helps people, again, understanding the brand and what they're coming to my store for. And so your goal should be for people to favorite your shop, because every time you list a new listing, they'll be notified that you're selling something new, which is so valuable. And my last piece of advice would just be to create something that is quality over quantity. You only have to create these products once and you can make money off them forever. So take your time creating them and make sure that it's something of value, so people will want to come back and buy other things from you. I hope you've found this video helpful in any way. I will be uploading more about Etsy and how I've made $1,000 a month in just a few short months selling digital products on Etsy, and I want to help other people be able to do this and make money from home. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!